Welcome back to the Sports Perspective TV viewers and subscribers. As always, thank you for tuning in. Really appreciate you taking the time out to watch the video and interact with the video as well. So the second test is underway between West Indies and South Africa, and the West Indies are off to a flying start. So in this video, gonna be just giving you an update on the match so far. Brilliant start by the West Indies. And looking very exciting from a West Indies standpoint. So so South Africa won the toss and they decided to bat first, right? The West Indies did make a change to their team, right? The change that the West Indies made was that they brought in Shamar Joseph for Kemar Roach, and that was the only change that was made. So they did still go with that two-spinner lineup with Moti and Warrican in the lineup and bringing in Joseph for Roach, right? And at lunch on the first day, South Africa are 64 for 4, right? So West Indies, went straight to business and just started taking wickets right away, right? So I must say that the pitch in Guyana, so far, it has offered a bit of assistance to the bowlers, right? It's not fast by any means. In fact, it's still a bit on the slow side, and there isn't a lot of bounce, but the bowlers are getting assistance in through the air and off the pitch, right? So there's a lot of seam movement off the pitch, right? And this is and swing in the air as well. And this is what the West Indian bowlers have used to get them to where they are, right? So started with Jayden Seals, bowling a brilliant delivery to get rid of Dasilva. Dasilva was the first South African wicket to go, right? And at that point, South Africa were so they lost their first wicket, so they were 8 for 1 when Dasilva went out. A brilliant ball by Jayden Seals to get Dasilva out. Bowled him through the gate. Brilliant. Ball swinging back in from around the wicket. Right. Then the next batter to go was Aiden Markram. Shamar Joseph getting into the action. Bowling Markram as well. And before he bowled him, at the moment Shamar came on, he started to trouble the batters. Hurrying them with the ball skidding onto him, skidding onto them, with his pace, and also getting movement off the pitch as well. Getting the ball to both swing into the right-handers and also getting it to straighten off a line as well and go away from the right-handers at certain points. And this is what deceived Markram in the way he got out. He actually got out not playing a stroke, ball pitching outside off stump and tailing back in and just clipping the top of off stump. But it was the fact that Shamar was getting the ball to straighten and go away from the right-handers a bit. That's what made Markram decide not to play at that ball. And boom, clip the top of off stump, and South Africa were 20 for 2. Then in the same over, Shamar again, came in, and Captain Bavuma, he's one of their most dangerous batsmen, and Shamar got him out in the same over. He got Markram. So he got 2 wickets in that over, getting Bavuma without scoring. Brilliant ball. LBW right in front of the wicket. So Shamar getting 2 wickets in the over. Brilliant bowling. I must say, Shamar has taken 2 wickets so far. But all the bowlers so far, they have bowled well. They've bowled discipline. So the 26 overs were bowled in the pre-lunch session, right? And South Africa only scored 64 runs. So that just goes to show of how disciplined the bowlers have bowled. They have not been able to score fast, right? So after Bavuma got out, then Bedingham and Tristan Stubbs, they put on a decent little partnership. Or they look like they wanted to, bat long, but the bowlers were still troubling them. They got a few boundaries off the edges and stuff, and there have been a lot of edges so far that have not carried to the slip fielders, which is why I said there isn't a lot of pace in the wicket, right? But there is still a bit of assistance there for the bowlers off the surface with sea movement and movement in the air as well, right? Tristan Stubbs edged a few that fell short of the slip cordon, and actually I think it was Jamel Warrican that dropped a catch off him as well. JC Holder got him to nick one, and Warrican dropped it. But then in Holder's next over, he was able to get him to play a swing a bit harder at one. This time, it went to I think it was either second or third slip, and Kavem Hodge took a brilliant catch to get rid of Tristan Stubbs as well. So the drop catch didn't really cost the team that much. So Stubbs went for 26 of 65 balls. So currently at the crease for South Africa is so Bedingham is still there on 16 from 41, and Kyle Verreyn, he's there on 4 from 8 balls, right? So South Africa 64 for 4 at lunch on the first day of the second test match. West Indies in a brilliant position. And the South African team, they made 2 changes to their team, right? So they dropped Ngidi and brought in Nandre Berger, and they also dropped Ryan Rickleton and brought in the spin bowler Dean Pete. So the South African batting lineup is a bit short-handed, because they went for the extra bowler. So West Indies getting 4 wickets this early, definitely means that if they can come out in the post-lunch session and get a few more wickets or get even 1 more wicket, then they'll be into the tail of the South African team, and hopefully we're able to get them out. Would preferably, in this post-lunch session, obviously it's easier said than done, but that would be brilliant for us, right? But the South African batting lineup, like I say, it's a bit short-handed, but nevertheless, they still have Mulder and very in there, and along with Bedingham, who all of whom can bat. Mulder and Verin, they did put on a good partnership in the first test match. So definitely not taking anything for granted, but so far so good for the West Indies. It's looking good. Wickets have been taken, and glad to see Shamar, back in the team, taking wickets in front of his home crowd. And I must say his pace, it's made a difference, right? Coming in for Roach, you can tell that the batsmen, are troubled by his pace. Getting the ball to skid off the surface. Shamar Joseph, he's not tall, but he's skiddy and he can bowl the ball at decent pace, and it has troubled the South African batsmen so far. And I'm definitely looking forward to see how Shamar comes out and bowl in the post-lunch session, but especially how the team performs in the post-lunch session as well. So, like I said, South Africa 64 for 4 at lunch on the first day of the second test match. West Indies in a strong position. South Africa under a bit of pressure. So let's see how the West Indies can build off this good start and hopefully get the South African team out, rather sooner than later, and not, allow them to bounce back and put up a big score after getting such a start against them. So do remember to like the video, comment on the video as well, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so as yet. So thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video. So at lunch on the first day, South Africa are 64 for 4. West Indies in a strong position so far, looking like they want to win the second test match. So thank you for tuning in, and I will see you in the next video.